South Korea's president is facing calls to resign or face impeachment after he imposed martial law and then lifted it just hours later. Yoon Suk-yeol was forced to backtrack after resistance from lawmakers and protesters. Opposition parties say they will submit a bill to start proceedings against him over this crisis.
Thousands of people took to the streets in Seoul, confronting army troops and police. Citizens were in shock and opposed to what they had just heard in a late-night televised presidential address.
I am declaring martial law to protect the Free Republic of Korea from the threat of North Korean communist forces, to eradicate the despicable pro-North Korean anti-state forces that are plundering the freedom and happiness of our people, and to protect the free constitutional order.
Protesters also gathered outside South Korea's parliament.
I believe that as a citizen of this country, I have to step up and take action. This kind of thing should never happen. It feels like we're returning to the era of dictatorship. It's simply not right for President Yoon to just take things into his own hands like this.
I felt anxious after watching the news. I also thought, this is such a national shame.
A standoff developed in front of the parliament as protesters tried to prevent soldiers from entering the building. Army helicopters landed on the roof and troops forced entry, seemingly in a bid to prevent lawmakers from getting inside. But with the help of citizens, 190 lawmakers managed to get in and hold an extraordinary session. In a vote, they unanimously rejected Yoon's declaration and demanded that martial law be lifted. The troops soon withdrew, and shortly after, Yoon spoke on TV again, announcing the reversal.
After the National Assembly demanded that martial law be lifted, the martial law troops have been withdrawn. I will accept the National Assembly's demand and lift martial law through a cabinet meeting.
President Yoon's move to impose and then reverse martial law came abruptly. Though he blamed North Korea and the opposition, analysts believe Yoon's decree was actually an attempt to hold on to power and push through his cabinet's agenda, as the parliament is controlled by the opposition. If that was really the case, it clearly backfired.
Child, the world is increasingly becoming a hot ghetto mess. Hello everyone, this is Angela and welcome to my channel, Angie the ENTJ. Please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and click on the notifications bell so you'll know whenever I upload any new content. The South Korean president declared martial law last night. It only lasted for a few hours though, but still, this is what happens when a nation has social policies that are mean and nasty to the women, and when it is common for women to be ignored and gaslit. Because see, what's going to eventually happen, y'all, is you're going to get a welcome mat into the realm of social collapse. See, look, this is some things that people don't understand about nature. You have a masculine force and a feminine force. Masculine and feminine are like night and day, literally. In the daytime, the sun is shining. We see the clouds moving. We feel the heat of the sun on our skin. However, when it's nighttime, it's only then that you can see the stars. Well, the masculine is like daytime, and the feminine is like nighttime. Why am I saying this? Okay. Many societies around the world are patriarchal, and as a result, they tend to place importance on the things that are apparent, the things that are obvious, like building roads and keeping a military force intact and all that other kind of stuff. But they do so without consideration to the situations that are a bit more obscure, and even though they're obscure and abstract, They are of equal and many times of greater importance. For instance, when any living being is pressured too much, they will not reproduce. That's kind of abstract, but it's very important. If you place a plant out in the sun that has not been watered, it will wither up because it is dehydrated and the sunlight is placing too much pressure on it. Human beings are no different. You cannot have a society that makes it all right to mistreat women and then expect for those same women to be overburdened with traditional roles that hold up your patriarchal society, while at the same time end up robbing them of the ability to earn their own income and save for retirement and live life according to how we women collectively want to live. You cannot also expect for young people to get married and reproduce children when the cost of living is unattainable. Those things may not be so obvious, but they are still extremely important to consider. And all around the world, and including here in the United States, by the way, women in particular have been advocating for social benefits, not communism or socialism, but returns on the contributions as it pertains to our collective tax dollars. But rather than listen to the women, the common practice is dismiss and ignore us and to gaslight us. The money goes towards the weapons that can wipe out hundreds, if not thousands of people with just one missile. Yet the same people who want to maintain the weapons also want women to keep squatting out babies who will eventually become bomb targets. Nope. So if they don't listen, we don't listen. Fair is fair. Your influence may be obvious, and our influence may not be so obvious, but we still have it. Power is power, whether it's obvious or not. The global birth rates are down, with South Korea being the worst in the world, with the lowest birth rate in the world. So until people are nicer to women, and until our demands are met, this is what the world will be facing, one nation at a time. They have to look forward to a bunch of angry people, many of them young men who haven't seen a poom poom since the day they were born, who have nothing to lose, charging at the government officials. By my estimation, the orange man will be next. And no. I'm not advocating violence in any manner whatsoever, nor am I making any threats. I'm just looking at how the ball rolls, okay? So, judging by the 3 attempts on him so far, and the current economic situation, and the fact that he will not be able to deliver on his campaign promises because the resources simply are not there. Like the old adage goes, you can't squeeze blood from a turnip. Well, don't be surprised if he has a legion of young men who haven't showered for days and who have never had a girlfriend or don't have girlfriends. And all of them and all of that odor begins rampaging against him. Because, see, he took the position of being mean towards women, some of whom have been unalived due to not receiving routine care during a miscarriage. Even Melania came out and said that even she was pro-choice. See, Melania ain't stupid. She may speak with an accent and in broken English, and there's nothing wrong with that. But she's not stupid. She doesn't think with an accent, and her thoughts are not broken. So her thoughts are clear, and she made sure that she's not going down with the orange clown. He is on his own. Even Melania, even she said, don't cross the women. Because see, at the end of the day, she's still a woman. Because when it comes to us women, you won't see it coming until long after it's too late. And then by then, the effects will be irreversible. So Melania drew a line in the sand like, no, I'm not about to touch that issue. I was with you on the other stuff, sitting over here quietly, but when you did that, no, you're not going to have these women rampaging against me and thinking that I was with you on that one. I was in here for the money. I was in here for the name. I wasn't in here for all of that. That's why I didn't join you at the White House immediately the first time you got elected. That was Melania, okay? So, one by one, all of the places in the world that have been mean and nasty to women are going to be, if they're not already, in social decline, and then they're going to be in economic decline, and if they're not already, they're going to be filled with households where miserable elderly parents are still providing shelter to their sons, who are men who have failed to launch and are still living at home in their 30s and their 40s. And that's if they are in first world nations. If they're in third world nations, their young people have migrated away. Or, I'm not just knocking the third world nations, because there are some underdeveloped parts of the United States that are very rural, that feel like third world countries. Oh, the young people are migrating away from there too, into the urban areas. So, be nice to the women or else. That's all I have to say for now. Please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and click on the notifications bell so you'll know whenever I upload any new content. Take care until next time.
Goodbye.